It's the conversation you've probably replayed in your head 1,000 times. You're nervous, your heart is racing, and you're worried about how they'll react or what this means for your kids and your future. But here's the reality. How you deliver this news that you want a divorce sets the tone for your entire legal case. It can be the difference between a civil, mediated settlement and a scorched earth legal battle that costs you thousands of dollars. I'm Matt Dolan with Dolan Divorce Lawyers, the largest divorce and family law firm here in Connecticut, and today I'm going to walk you through the do's and don'ts of telling your spouse you want a divorce from a legal and a practical perspective. Now, before you even open your mouth about the possibility of divorce, you should have your ducks in a row. If there's a history of domestic violence, do not do this alone. Have a safety plan and have the conversation with a third party present, like a therapist or in a public place. You should also gather a financial snapshot of your family finances. Once you mention divorce, access to accounts or documents might suddenly change. Make sure you have copies of tax returns, bank account statements, and mortgage information before you have the talk. And finally, consult with a qualified family law attorney. I know it might feel like you're going behind your spouse's back, but this isn't about being sneaky. It's about being protected. An attorney can help you understand exactly what you need to do to protect yourself, given the specifics of your case, before you have a conversation about divorce. Now, before we get into the specifics of what to say to your spouse, I want to pause and make sure you first evaluate if you are 100% sure that you want to get a divorce. As a divorce attorney, I see the finish line of marriages every day, and I can tell you that divorce is a permanent and sometimes incorrect solution to what might be a temporary crisis in your marriage. If you still have a flicker of doubt, or if you feel that there are stones left unturned, do not start with the D word. Once you definitively say, I want a divorce, it can be very difficult to reestablish trust and intimacy in your marriage. Instead of a final declaration, consider having a conversation about the state of your marriage. Use language like, I'm deeply unhappy and I feel like our marriage is in a dangerous place. I'm not ready to give up yet, but I need us to try to improve things in couples therapy. Having a conversation like that can give your marriage one last chance to pivot and can also give you the peace of mind that you tried your best if your marriage does ultimately come to an end. But if you've already done the therapy, you've done the soul searching, and you know in your gut that your marriage is over, then and only then should you proceed with the steps I'm about to outline. When you first actually sit down, your goal is to be firm, brief, and non-negotiable. Don't say, I think I'm unhappy, or maybe we should look at options. That gives false hope and leads to confusion. Try a script like this. I have a difficult thing to share. I've reached the decision that our marriage is no longer working, and I want to move forward with a divorce. I'm telling you this now because I want us to handle this as respectfully as possible for ourselves and for our children. Now, your spouse may go through some of the stages of grief right in front of you, whether it's denial, anger, or bargaining. If they get angry, though, do not engage. If things get heated, simply say something like, I can see you're upset, let's take some space and talk more about this tomorrow. Now, with all of that said, every situation and relationship is different, so you should approach the divorce conversation in a way that you feel is best for you and your family. But if you have children, you should absolutely have the conversation outside of the presence of your children, ideally when they're not home or anywhere nearby. Now, once the initial shock of the announcement is passed, perhaps the very next day, it's time to pivot to the practicalities of divorce. You don't want to leave things in a state of limbo. If you're hoping for a low conflict exit, this is the time to bring up mediation or collaborative divorce. You might say something like, I'd really like for us to look into mediation or a collaborative divorce process. I think it would be easier for us and the kids and much less expensive for both of us. Now, if you've already retained counsel, be transparent and respectful. You can say something like, I've already hired an attorney to help me navigate this. Here's their name and contact information. They'll be reaching out soon to discuss the next steps with you, or if you have an attorney, they can reach out to my lawyer. Now, this stage is exactly why that pre-divorce consultation is so critical. Your lawyer isn't just there to file paperwork. They're also your strategist. They can help you draft a specific plan for this stage of the process, ensuring you don't accidentally make things much more contentious than they have to be right from the outset. So those are the first steps on a long journey, but doing it right can save you an immense amount of stress and money down the road. So as usual, if you have any additional questions, you can contact our office. And if you're looking for representation in a divorce or other family law matter here in Connecticut, we would invite you to contact our office as well.